Hey, how's everybody doing? So today I want to do a little quick update on this angelfish tank. I don't always check the caves over here, but today I was thinking I'd just check them out. And here we have a bunch of little pleco babies. So let's go ahead, I'm gonna get the flashlight and I'm actually gonna pull the cave and dump those babies in a container. And we're gonna move them to a grow out tank. So let's go ahead and take a look. Here, just so you guys can see before she hides, this is the female that bred. So real nice common long fin. I'll call him just like a black long fin. I'm not really sure the exact right way of saying that. But you can tell she's skinny. She must have just had a bunch of eggs in here. And then the male we have in this cave is gonna be a calico. So let's go ahead and take a look at the babies here. If I get a light in here. It's always challenging, but definitely see the activity, and you can see some albinos in there, which always is cool for me. We have some commons, and we should have some reds and calicos too. But let's go ahead and get them out of the cave. Try to clean the glass, get a little bit better look. So yeah, he's covering them up in there, but if you time this right or get lucky enough, you can time it up so you can pull the babies from the cave. They've already hatched, the male's done all the hard work. But if I leave them in this tank with the angelfish will kind of pick them off and they won't leave enough food for them. So we're doing the best thing for the babies by pulling them out at this stage. And let's go ahead and do just that. So if you guys remember, if you've been following the channel, if not, you can go ahead back in the playlist and check it out. But we did pull babies from this exact same pair a few months ago. So whenever I go to put these in the grow out tank, we actually can check out those as well, see how big they're getting. It's probably been about a month since I pulled their last batch of babies. Not to say they haven't laid eggs since, but sometimes they breed every couple of weeks, sometimes it takes them a little bit longer. But it's kind of all in that time, if you get them at the right spot to pull them out of the tank. But all I'm gonna do here is just get a container of their water, gently pull that cave out of here and try to get all the babies without getting the parent. But if he comes out too, that's perfectly fine. And you're just gonna keep rinsing this cave out till you get all the babies out. All right, guys, so yeah, we timed this up perfectly, and I hardly get to take a good look at this male, so may as well check him out while we're here. But yeah, he's a nice big calico. It's kind of hard. You need to size up your plecos with the breeding pair. Sometimes you get some males and females that are just a little bit different sizes, just genetically, or they could be older or younger. You need to match them up a little bit more. You can't put a giant male pleco with a smaller female. You can, you're gonna have a lot more challenges. But yeah, he's looking pretty good. He's got a lot more color in his face, and there's babies just everywhere. So you can see in the corner here, we'll try to see them. We got a little bit of everything here. It looks like we have some calicos, some super reds. We have some commons. I thought I saw some albinos, but as they get a little bit bigger, it'll be easier to tell if they're gonna stay. Yeah, there's an albino there in the front corner. You can tell by the eyes. And you can see the super red there. It's kind of hard to focus on them, but the first two up front corners, you can see the angelfish would be eating these guys if they're in the tank. You can't get much better pair than that. Breeding a calico to a black longfin, and we're getting all of these colorations. And this didn't happen out of one breeding. This has been generations of breeding. But yeah, super excited about this. I'm gonna get the male out of here, and we'll take these fry upstairs and we'll put them into the stock tank, let them grow out. Before we go upstairs and release these guys, let's take a closer look at them because there are a lot of them in here and they're looking pretty good. So very critical. We're have to get some food in these guys pretty soon. I like to do a lot of crushed up flake food and some algae wafers. Feed pretty heavy, let there be an excess amount of food. If you have an established tank with some mulch on the bottom, just kind of a little bit dirtier tank is actually better for these guys. But yeah, let's check it out. There are a bunch in here. We're getting lots of commons. We got some albinos, and we got a good percentage of reds and calicos too. So if you look in this corner, you can see some of the super reds, and then you can see some that have that marbling and that calico color to them. So that's where we're gonna get some of our mixes. But yeah, very good outcome from this pair. Very happy about it. And it's all about just separating your males and females, getting your adults in a tank, feeding them well, get them conditioned, get them some spots they can lay eggs. And Bristle Plecos are very fun, rewarding fish to breed. Takes a little bit of patience, like anything, for growing them out, feeding them, conditioning them. But to get them actually breeding is not the hardest thing. Once you have your tank set right. And once you start crossbreeding and getting stuff like this, it can be really rewarding, whether you're line breeding, working on improving finnage, colors, whatever it may be. But I've gotten into some crossbreeding. I think it helps hardy the genetics. It's cool to see what you're gonna get. And even just looking right here with the reds, you can see the different coloration in the eyes. So I can see some calicos here that have more of the clear eyes, and then some almost have like that lemon blue eye trait with those darker eyes. So be interesting if we do something with that in the future. But let's go ahead, take these guys upstairs, we'll release them to the stock tank, and wrap this up. Now that we're upstairs, we can check out the stock tank before we actually release these guys. So the guppies are putting on some good size. There's a whole bunch of them. I don't have to worry about the guppies and the size of their mouths with eating these babies. You can see down here we have the plecos from last time. So not as many in there off of first look. But there's definitely a good bit in that tank. They're putting on some size. Plecos are very slow growing. There's an albino down there. And this tank's a little bit more established now, so I think the second batch of babies are gonna do even better than the first one. We got more food in the tank, the filter's a little bit more aged. And yeah, overall this should just work out a lot better. But let's go ahead, dump these guys in there. Actually, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna put some food in there just to get less hesitation for the guppies to take little nips at them or anything like that. So we're gonna put some in there. I'm actually gonna sink some food at the bottom, crush it up real fine, because that's gonna be very important for these guys eating as soon as they're leaving the cave. They're finally finished off of their like egg sac, which is where all their nutrition is early on. So I'm gonna release these guys kind of right into these plants, let them work their way down to the tank. Yeah, there are so many of them, that's awesome. Make sure you got them all. It's gonna take a few rinses. Just be gentle, be patient. Try not to use nets if you can. There's always one or two stragglers. Yeah, there had to have been a good 75, 100 fry in there. I might go back, I always say this, and look at the picture and take a little pause, and then go back and count them all, just out of curiosity. But they usually clump up in the corners and things like that, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. Kind of the old saying, don't count your chickens till they roost kind of thing right there. But yeah, pretty neat. Happy to share with you guys update. If you guys like the video, make sure you guys like below, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I think we're still working our way to get into that 10,000 mark. But yeah, I love documenting the journey, showing off the fish, checking back in with you guys. So thanks for watching. Like I said, if you're not subscribed, subscribe below. Doesn't cost you anything. Send some comments, let me know what you think. Let me know what kind of fish you have at home, what kind of plecos you have, what's your favorite fish to breed or house. I always like talking to you guys, just being positive, hearing some good things from you guys. You'll get a little bit of good and bad from everything online, but always like to be positive, see you guys, and see your comments. But thanks again for watching. Talk to you next time. Happy fish keeping.